water seeps its own level. You understand what I'm saying? Water seeps its own level. I don't even think that should even be the focus. I don't think that should be the focus, because ultimately, in actuality, I know me. Other than somebody initially teaching me something, which is already done to get me on the path, it's pretty much up to me, because we're talking about the only person that has a path to your soul is yourself. So the whole notion that you gotta work with somebody else is not necessarily the end all and be all in the first place.
That's how we got trapped in the first place.
You see what I'm saying? So my point here is, it doesn't really matter if you can't find nobody. It just only matters if you already there. I mean, if you already gonna do it for yourself, then it's futile to even think about whether you got a bunch of front niggas and all that kind of thing here, because ultimately you're gonna only have to do it by yourself anyway.
I'm saying that you're the one who's like that, not somebody else who out there.
Right. So I'm just saying. So my point is you just answered your question. You just answered your question.
I don't have to go to nobody else.
No, you know that.
All right.
Because ultimately, if it was that way, I mean, you would be in some type of religion or somewhere. But because you're in the metaphysics and it's talking about inwardly, then ultimately it's going to have to be you. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It even showed you. Now, hell, you saw the movie Matrix. He had an excellent teacher, Morpheus and all them, and hell, they pumped all that knowledge in his damn head overnight with them damn 10 hours straight. He's still going, and he had everything, but he said, listen, I can take you to the door, but you're gonna have to walk the door. So ultimately, why even bullshit around, why even trying to get some organization, when ultimately you're gonna have to walk the path? Because the simple fact that we know this right now, we can start an organization right now, and the goals and the objectives up in here would be fine. Everybody up in here would be right. But over the course of the damn weeks, you understand what I'm saying? We'll have 400 Indian chiefs. You see what I'm saying? One or two Indians following, or we'll have all Indians or one Indian chief. You see what I'm saying? Ultimately, it's gonna have to be up to the individual. Up to the individual. That's why I was very clear in my career of doing this to not let nobody follow me. You see what I'm saying? So my point is just look at me. I'm not depending on no other motherfucker to give me no damn knowledge. God knows I got enough of it. I'm in here lecturing to you. And I'm saying I deal with people every day, and I don't shut myself off from the people. Because I don't shut myself off from the people. But my point here is, on the other hand too, I deal with them every day, but I understand that it's gonna be that way. Plus you must understand this here too. You must understand the conditions that we're working from. We're working from a prison cell. If you're working from the maximum security prison, then you automatically know that it don't supposed to be a utopia. And I'm saying in one hand, and I'm saying what I'm trying to say is on the other hand, for you even dwelling on that and all, I think that's a bridge you got to get across, get over.
I'm not dwelling on. I'm saying I agree with what you're saying, because I hear people say that we got to go to a priest or anything, and I'll go priest.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I agree with you.
I get where you're coming from, because I get where you're coming from.
That because I don't have to go no priest for no reading.
I get where you're coming from.
Go directly.
I see what you're doing. You making a response based on
well, I hear people tell
age-old fact in most cities now. Age-old fact in most cities now. And every 5 minutes there's somebody new popping up. Now they got one guy, he's down in Atlanta and he's doing whole foods, live foods. And that's all well based on the diet thing and all. But now I've seen a man 60. And his whole concept of everything that he's thinking about now is based on this goddamn nigga he just met. His whole world is based around this nigga when selling the live, doing the whole foods and the live foods, and you gotta get this here and you gotta do all this here and the live foods and sister, it's imperative that you give me sex so you can be spiritually opened up. And all that crazy shit, you know, we get it every 5 fucking damn years of some asshole out here exploiting people. But yet this guy's in his 60s. And he's gone to this guy, and his whole concept is centered around this guy. And before that, he told me he was in the Nation of Islam. He told me he was in several groups over the last 40 years that he was a part of. And I'm quite sure when he was in those groups, his whole identity was around that person. You see what I'm saying? But dealing with that and all, first of all, the only master there is, when you just look at the concept, it's an oxymoron. But I thought that the majority of these lectures focused on people who was trying to understand in actuality that they are the one, or you should be. You understand what I'm saying? So even that, when it even come to that level, that's even fueled out about all these niggas. Because it's not just Detroit. It's New York. It's Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? It's Chicago. When I went to Chicago, hell, they had everybody up in the lecture had some master. And the guy said, look, Chicago is going to be like any other place you ever went to. He said, everybody up in here is following some damn body. You see what I'm saying? Following somebody. You see? So, yeah, that's a given. But the only master, there's no such thing as no guru master. How the hell are we going to have a guru over in India and they got niggas on the street in Bangladesh and shit begging for damn, not quarters, begging for damn bicycle spokes or something. Eating rats.